So I wanted to just review real quickly with you. Remember, everyone starts out with $1,000 in what we call funny money. So 5 whites, whites are worth 10, that equals 50. 5 reds, that equal 50 each, that equals 250. So now I'm up to 300. I give them 2 blues at $100 each. I'm up to 500, and then my greens are worth 250 each. I give them 2 of those. That equals 1,000. That is the standard buy-in that we do. Now, you're going to learn this once we go into the rules and the payouts, which we're going to do in just 1 second here, but probably the most important rule in the entire casino is that you maintain the $500 betting limit. Now, we maintain that throughout the entire casino. Every game is played with a $500 maximum bet on any single bet. Now, let me clarify that for you. That's maximum bet on any single bet. So a guy at the craps table can lay down 10 $500 bets. So it's $500 bet, any single bet. So in blackjack, you can only put $500 out max on the spot for that particular bet. So $500 max. This is the one thing that will get you fired in a hurry, is if you exceed the betting limit at your table. Do not exceed the betting limit under any circumstances. Now, a couple things can happen, but sometimes, and it's not uncommon, the players run out of money at the table. Okay, let's say I do bet 500 my first hand, I lose. I bet 500 my second hand, I lose. Now I'm out of money. Okay, we don't want them to go away after playing 2 hands of blackjack. That's not a very fun and entertaining evening. So what we do is rebuy them back into the casino. But you as the dealer cannot rebuy them back at your table. What they must do is go find the party manager and or pit boss and go get another $1,000 to rebuy back in. So they must get off their player spot, go find the pit boss, get money to buy in, and then hopefully come back and their spot is still there. You do not save their spot for them. So the purpose of this is that people will be more conservative in their betting if they realize they got to get up and go find the pit boss before they can play again. So you never rebuy someone at your table. You tell them, go look for Randy or the guy with the funny looking tie or whoever your party manager is at that. You tell them, they're over on that table over there, go see them. If I'm the party manager, I see them coming, I know they're out of money, they've got the dejected look. I've already got a $1,000 chip that I hand them, which is the black chips. I hand them a $1,000 chip and tell them good luck so they can get back in the game. In this way, it doesn't create a frenzy of everybody betting money at your table, the $500 max limit, knowing that you're just going to rebuy them back into the casino. It takes a little effort for them to get back into the casino in this manner. The other thing I wanted to point out too, the buy-in chip that we use. Once you collect the buy-in chip and put it behind the black chips, there's a reason why we put that at the very bottom at our stack of chips, and that is because the buy-in chips are not used in the casino. They're only used to buy in. So once you put them back in here, they will remain at that slot in your chip tray until the end of the party. At the end of the party, you will pull them out in a separate stack, and there will be one collective table somewhere within the party that everyone will be doing the same thing and bringing their buy-in chips to. In this manner, we get all the buy-in chips back to one location. We put them back in a special case called the buy-in chip case, and they're not mixed with your regular casino chips. So once again, the buy-in chips are not used to play within the casino. They're only used to buy into the game. So with that, we're going to go ahead and start playing a little bit right now. Now you're going to have to use your imagination here because I don't have a whole table full of people, but I'm going to kind of show you the basics from their perspective and mine as well. So when the people come to the table, I obviously introduce myself. I say, hi, my name's Randy. I'm going to be your dealer tonight. Do you guys all know how to play blackjack? Invariably, about 90-95% of them do. And so they'll say, yes, I know how to play. And I'll say, well, great, but we've got some special payouts that we do in our casino that are better than any casino you're ever going to go to. Now, I'm not going to go through this list of payouts with you tonight, but I'm going to tell you the very best one so you can keep your eye out for it. It is a 3-card 21. So what that means is if your first 3 cards add up to 21, you are an automatic winner, it's a 3-to-1 blackjack, okay? We don't pay 1.5 to 1 like a normal blackjack. A 3-card blackjack, as we call it, Utah 21, pays 3-to-1. So 3 cards that add up to 21 pays 3-to-1. 6, 7, and 8, that adds up to 21. That's 3-to-1. Let's say the person has 11, they double down, they hit the 10, that's 3 cards, and it adds up to 21. It pays 3-to-1. 3-card blackjack, 3-to-1. Remember that, it's going to be your most common payout. So I'm not going to go through the rest of the payouts with you guys right now. Let's just go ahead and start playing and get this party started. So the first thing I need you all to do is make sure you put a chip out on the table. Put it in the red spot anywhere that you want. So we're just going to go ahead and let you all do that right now. Right now they're placing all their chips in the yellow spot there. Now, does anybody here know how to play the Royal Match? Because we're in Utah, most people know the Royal Match from Wendover. So the Royal Match is a very simple bet. What you're betting, it's a side bet. So if the people want to pay the Royal Match, they put a chip diagonally next to the spot. So right there is the proper location. You ask them to put it diagonally. Don't put it in the spot. Don't put it on top. Put it diagonally. Then you recognize that as the Royal Bet Match. So I'm going to bet 100. What I usually do, every time somebody comes to the table, I bet their Royal Match bet for them right off. I usually bet 50 or a 100 for them. I tell you what, I'm going to make the first bet for you because I want to get them interested in the game. So here we go. Everyone's got a bet out, and we got Royal Match bets out. Good luck, everyone. Now I'm going to show you the mechanics of dealing to the people. First of all, the first thing to understand is when you deal to all the players, both their cards are face up. So I'm going to go ahead and deal this first round and kind of show you the mechanics. You're going to want to keep the first card straight, coming out, but just ahead of the yellow spot. My first card goes down. So the dealer is the only one on the table that gets 1 card up, 1 card down. Everyone else gets all their cards up. So now I'm going into dealing my second card. Now here's the trick with dealing the second card. I don't know if you can get the camera on to where I'm dealing here now, but what we want you to do, oh, look at that. It's a Royal Match bet right off. So what we want you to do is to have the cards going at a 45-degree angle with at least 50% of the bottom card showing. This is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. Okay? This is not acceptable. The card needs to be at a 45-degree angle, coming down, with at least 50% of the bottom card showing. Now, one thing we do let you do is you can make all your cards go left or I'll make all your cards go right. It's your preference. Just make sure you're diagonaling them all to the right if you do it that way. Don't have half of them diagonaling to the left, half of them diagonaling to the right. So they all need to diagonal one way. Now, this is an interesting 2 cards that I pulled right here, because this is a match bet, okay? First of all, let me explain the Royal Match to you if you don't understand it. The Royal Match is 2 cards need to be suited to win. If any 2 cards in any 2 combination, let's say the 5 and the 2, the 6 and the 8, the Jack and the 9 come up, and they're both the same suit, this bet pays 3-to-1. So I would pay 3-to-1, and I would put it on top. This is the only bet where you actually put the money on top on the payout, and I'll explain why in 1 second. But in this case, this is almost a Royal Match. When they say Royal Match, what they're referring to is the King-Queen. So if the King-Queen of Hearts or any other suit would have came suited, that pays 10-to-1. So a normal match pays 3-to-1. The Royal Match pays 10-to-1, but this is what we call the Junior Royal Match in our game. It's not a real casino bet, but we like to kick it up at ours. So with the King and Queen suited, that becomes a 5-to-1 payout. So I'm going to pay 5-to-1 on that Royal Match bet right now. Now here's the fun thing about the way that we play the Royal Match versus a regular casino. In a regular casino right now, you would decide whether you're going to take some of this money back or let it all ride or what you would want to do, because right now you have a bunch of winnings that you made off your original match bet. In our casino, the money rides till the end of the hand. So once you win the match bet, you can't lose it. It rides. So it's very important that you understand this difference. The bet rides all the time till the end of the hand. Once they win it, they can't lose it. So let's keep this going now. We've already paid our match bet there. We're going to let that ride. Oh, there's a match too. It isn't a royal match, but it still is 2 cards suited. So it pays 3 to 1. I pay it out there, and then I tell the player, it rides. Oh my gosh, we got a third match. Look at how good that match bet is. 3 to 1. They're all riding. No match on that one. So there was no match on this bet. Oh, excuse me. All my cards need to be going left. Okay, no match on this bet. There's a spade with a club. So I take the match bet away right there. Once the match bet is lost, you pull the chip immediately. Just like in blackjack, if the person went over, you would pull their bet immediately and end their hand. So that part of their game is over, you pull the match bet. Once the match bet loses, you pull it away. If the match bet wins, you let it ride. Okay, here we go. No match. No match. And the dealer pulls a 2. So now you go back to the first player. You're going clockwise all around, you go to the first player. You ask them if they'd like a hit. Now this is the interesting thing about the match bet here. This person has a 20. In any normal casino, you'd have rocks in your head to hit on a 20, because there's only one card you can win with, and that's an ace. But in our casino, it becomes a little bit different strategy, because they can still hit the match bet. So even if they bust on this match bet, but it's a heart, you're going to pay them 3 to 1. Now it's not 3 to 1 on their original, it's 3 to 1 on all their winnings. So what's gone on here is this person has a $50 bet riding on their regular bet, but they have $600 on the match. So if the card comes a heart, they're going to make 3 to 1 or $1,800 on the match bet. So they're in essence risking $50 on the chance to make $1,800. Okay? But for plain purposes today, and we don't want to confuse you too much, we're going to just say that person stands on their 20, and what do? You give them their match money right there. Because once again, they're through playing the match. The match is a side game. It's now over. They won. You give them their winnings. So they're going to stand on 20. 19, this gentleman will do the same thing. He'll just take his match money and stand on 19. 13, this gentleman decides he wants to hit on the 13. So he's going for a club. Oh, he didn't get it. He got 17. He still gets to keep his match money. Remember, once they win it, they don't lose it. So he keeps that, and now he stands on 17. This gentleman has a 9. Takes the hit, he stands at 18. This person has 7. Now, one important thing, while you're flipping the cards over, it is important that you tell the players what number they have. There's a specific reason why we do this. It makes the game go quicker, and it doesn't mean they have to count. You have to count. So this person's got 12 right now. 12, did you want to hit on that? Yeah, I'll hit on that. 20, want to stand on that? I'll stand. If you want to teach the players, and most of them know this, stand means a level hand going across the table. Sometimes just a little dinky one. Hit means usually a brush. Sweep the table or a quick brush. So he stands on 20. This gentleman has 14. He takes a hit. He hits with a king and gets 24. So he has busted. Take his chip right away. When a person busts, you end the game for them, take their chip, take their cards, because they're all done. So I have this many players left in the game. Now it's down to me. So now I go, flip my card over. Dealer has 5, 7, 14, 22. Oh, I busted. Everyone's excited, everyone's happy. You pay off in the same order that you dealt in. So you're going to start over here. This is an even money payoff. So what I do is I put the chip directly side to side of that player, because then they know I've paid them the correct amount. Now, it's pretty easy when you got one chip. My point here is you don't stack their winnings on top of their other chip. You always pay their winnings on the side right next to their chip. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret when you're first starting, because I make this all look so easy because I've only dealt this about 1,000 times. But for you that haven't, what you're going to find is you're going to get a little confused. The fun thing about blackjack is when you're playing it, you only need to pay attention about 30 seconds every 5 minutes. Okay, the rest of the time you can shoot the shit, you can drink, you can do whatever you want to do. And only does the dealer need your attention at that point. When you're the dealer, you have to pay attention all the time. So I pay that person even out there. Now, another important thing I'm going to show you in the very beginning when you do this, a lot of times, if you're confused about the chip values, you can pay what we call chip to chip. In other words, if a person has 3 blue chips out and they win, I just pay them 3 blue chips. Then I know I've paid them correctly. Now that'll get you by for a while, but you do need to learn the chip denominations because they're going to get more and more chips, and you're going to want to chip them up eventually. So the first person is paid 19. Do I pay them? Well, of course, I busted. So I do the same thing. I put a chip next to it. I pull their cards. You notice I do this with one hand generally, but if you need to do 2, you can use 2. So same thing here. Pay them on the side, pull the chips, put them into the discard chute. Pay them on the side, pull the chips, put them in the discard chute. Pay them on the side, pull the cards, put them in the discard chute, pull my cards. Okay? The game is now over. Next game. Bets, please. Now, this is what I do. Did you notice I just ran my hands across the table? There's a reason for this. These people are all going to take their chips back, and then they're going to figure out what they're going to bet again. There's always going to be 1 or 2 that's going to be talking or socializing or not paying attention. So you sweep your hand across the table. If you come to a spot where someone hasn't bet yet, you tap the spot. We're waiting. Anytime you'd like to place a bet. Now there's another reason why we do this, so that the other players will also coax them into, come on, we're waiting on you, please. So always sweep your hand across the table. Once you know all the bets are placed, you're ready to go. Now there's one important thing right now. They've all placed their bets out, but what I need to do as the dealer is go, well, what about match bets? Now, most people that have played the royal match know that it is not a very good bet in a royal casino. Statistically, the odds are not in your favor. But the way that we play it, it is the best bet in our entire casino. So I always coax people into trying to play the match bet, even if they just only put out a $10 chip. If you run 5 suited cards in a row, that $10 chip is going to grow to a couple of grand. So that's the important thing to sell. Any match bets? Anybody want to play the match? Let's just say here, these 2 play. Chip out diagonally to the spot like I teach you, they're in the game. Here we go. You're dealing away. Now, another important thing while you're dealing is, don't make it like the library, dead silence. Talk about the weather, what's going on. What do you guys all do? What department do you work in? If you're very social, you can get a conversation. The other important thing that I want to teach you to do is try to get to know their names. You will learn very quickly that even if they don't introduce themselves, that they'll know each other. And they'll start telling each other, calling each other by name. You want to learn their names because they're going to sit at your table probably the entire night. It is not like a real casino where there's a lot of transition between tables. Once they're there, they are there. And you're going to want to keep them there because that's how you're going to get your best tips. So here we go. I've got my 4 first cards out. Notice all player cards are up. My first dealer card is down. Very important. Second card comes out. Oh, blackjack! So, right then, I'm going to stop the game and pay this person off. They're a winner right then. But this is an interesting blackjack that we just pulled up here. I'm going to pull the cards up and show you. Okay, this is an ace with a blackjack. That is one of our special payouts. We call it the true blackjack. It is a true blackjack with an ace. That's a real blackjack. and that pays 5 to 1 in our casino. That's one of our special payouts. If it was a red jack, it would just be a regular blackjack and would pay 2 to 1. But with a blackjack, it becomes a true blackjack and pays 5 to 1. So that person did not hit the match bet, right? Because they're different suits. So they lost that bet. You put that chip away. But I'm going to pay them 5 to 1 right now. Okay, now, oh gosh, how much is a red chip? Can anybody? Oh, you're out in video land. You can't tell me. It's 50 bucks. 5 of them is $2.50. So I could have paid several ways here. I could have paid 5 red chips. I could have paid 2 blues and a red. That's $2.50. Or I could have just stuck them 1 green chip. That's $2.50 as well. Point here is you need to learn your chip values so you're not giving them a million chips and you're not running out of chips in your chip tray as you play. You'll also notice as I'm putting my chips back, I'm trying to keep them always organized because you're going to want to pull them out and you're going to have to be in the right slot. Now, if you looked at your chip tray when we first started this, there's the same colors on the left as there is on the right. Okay? They duplicate each other. So if you're a left-handed person, you're going to go through a lot more chips on your left. So sometimes you're just constantly moving them over so you've got the other stack. Okay, this person's paid off on their blackjack there. Let's go to this one and try and get a hand going. No match, pair of 9s, but taking the match bet, but they had no match money out. So there's no winning there. 18, and the dealer pulls a 9. Okay, this one's I should already took their money because they're already done, giving them back theirs. Now, interesting thing happens when you get a pair. Any pair can be split. Okay, you can turn it into 2 hands. I always learn that 2 is better than 1. 2 against 1 is always a good thing, but they can vary in this game. So this particular person has a pair of 9s. Now, you can split on any pair. Okay, any pair. I don't know how much plainer to make that. Anything that is of the same denomination can be split. That doesn't mean a jack and a queen can be split, because that's not a pair. Okay? Just because they're the same value does not mean they can be split. So I'm going to split the 9s. Now what happens is, and you'll have to explain this to a lot of people, what they simply have to do is match the other bet. So they stick the matching bet behind the 9. Now they get to play 2 hands against my 1. Okay? So we're around where they're all going to get cards. Now, in a real casino, when you split cards, you play this hand first to its entirety, and then you play this hand first. Next. In our casino, we do it a little different. The first card goes down on the left. It's not going to make much difference here. But after that, any card that comes out can be put on either hand. You don't need to put it on that one particular hand. So I'm going to put that there. That one's got to stay there. We got double 19, so that person is good. 16. Does that person want to hit? The dealer standing with a 9 probably would take a hit. So they're going to hit on 16, 22. They bust on 22. You take their chip. You put the cards in the return shoe. They're done. 18. That person stands on 18. So now it's down to the dealer. I've gone all the way around in a clockwise manner and helped all the players. Dealer has 15, 24. Dealer busts. So, same thing. I'm always going to pay clockwise. So I start with this person, pay him a red chip right next to it, pull his cards. Second person, pay a red chip, pull the cards. Third person, pay a red chip, pull the cards. Pull my cards. So there's the basics of dealing this game. The other important thing that you should learn is what is double down. Double down will happen a lot in blackjack. Now, all casinos have different rules for allowing you to double down. We allow you to double down on anything. So what double down means is this. Okay? Your 2 cards are dealt. I'm going to set this up so that it's a good double down. Maybe. Maybe. We'll just try it on this, even though this is not 2 cards you would typically double down on. But in this case, you might. So the person has a bet, a single bet out like they made at the beginning of the hand. You've now dealt them their 2 cards. They think their odds are better than beating. Now, generally, people only do this on a 9, 10, or 11, when their 2 cards total 9, 10, or 11. They usually do it on 11, and the reason being is because they want to draw a 10. And why would they want to do that? Because there are more 10s than anything in the deck. There are 16 10s. So the odds of you getting a 10 are very good. Okay? So, what they do is they match the bet, put it side by side once again, and they get 1 card. They get 1 card down. Now this card's dealt a little funky. It's dealt sideways, upside down. So this is the only card you're going to deal upside down. That is all they get. When they double down, they get 1 card. That's all they get. So then once again, the advantage to doing this is you think that you've got the dealer in a bad position and you're in a superior position, and you feel like it's easy money if you can just get a card and because the odds are in your favor. So this person is doubled down on 15. Now I would work my way around to the table, and then I would flip up their card when it was their turn. 25. They busted. So they lost the double down no matter what I had. I had 14. So it was still a good chance that they, should have doubled down and tried to beat me. The double down bet, you should always try to sell the double down bet to the players should they have 10 or 11. Remember, it's just like splitting the cards. It's just like when you pay them out. The chip that they put out has to be side by side, not on top of the other chip. Never stack chips out here because that represents double bets, unless it is a double bet. But most times the chips are going to go side by side, right next to each other, and then you're going to know. So you're dealing through the game, you're getting all these cards into the return shoe. Now there's a couple of things I want to show you in this game. I don't know where I put that card. Let me get another one. Oh, there it is. Every time you shuffle the cards from the dealer's shoe, here's what's going to happen. All these cards are going to end up over here, and you're going to have to shuffle them. Now this is a lot of cards for people to shuffle most generally. So what I suggest to do is you separate them out into piles that are shuffleable, if you will, for you. Don't be uncomfortable with it. Just take 1 stack at a time. This is actually a little small for me to do this many. Shuffle them 3 times each stack. 3 times. Stack it on mine. Same thing. This way you're not trying to shuffle 300 cards at a time, although it can be done. It's not too difficult once you get the hang of it. But for now, until you get really good at it, I would not suggest you try it because you'll just end up with cards everywhere. Shuffle your cards three times, and then put them all together. Now I'm going to show you one thing we do in our casino, a couple of little side tricks that we do to kick it up a notch. You have to remember, our casinos are designed so that the players win. We're not a real casino. We don't want to win. They're going to start out with $1,000 in money. By the end of this party, the average payout is going to be between $5,000 and $10,000 that you're going to see. So what we do at every shuffle is we add in a special card. This is called the bonus card. It is different than all the other cards and readily distinguishable from the rest. It is the value of the card that it is when it comes out on you. But here's the fun of this card. If this card comes out on you as a player, you get a $500 bonus right here, right now. So if I deal it out to this person, I'm going to pay him 2 greens. Right then. Just the bonus. We're getting the bonus card. Now, that plays through the rest of the hand. And then at the end of the hand, what I do is I don't stick it in my discard thing because I'll lose it. I just take and put it right back over here for the next time that I'm going to shuffle. So keep your bonus card in a separate place once you play. Now the fun part about this bet too is if I, as the dealer, it comes out on me, everybody on the table gets $500. So it's a really fun bet. We keep it in there. But what you're going to do is at every shuffle, you're going to have someone cut it into the deck. So I've just shuffled the cards. I go to the first player or the prettiest girl, whatever you prefer on your table, and ask them to cut the card. I hand them the card. they slide it in somewhere, and then you're going to put the cards back in the shoe. Now, this is a little trickier than it looks, putting the cards back in the shoe. The key to it really is facing up your cards and having them tight together. Now you're going to take this part. This black part has rollers on it. It rolls up and down, and it's weighted. And that's what keeps the cards in place. So what you have to do is raise this black part up with one hand while you pick up the cards with the other hand and drop them into the thing, and then let the black shoe come back immediately. Okay? It looks so easy, but it's not really very. But what will happen is the weight of the shoe will get it back down in place. And then you can foof them up and make them sit just right the way you want. If you can't do them all at once, do them like you shuffle. Do half, put the black thing against it, then hold them all tight, put the second half of the cards. This will be a challenging part for you, so don't be embarrassed if you can't do it at first. Quite honestly, a lot of casinos don't do this anymore because their dealers can't put the cards back in a very efficient manner. So that's a little bit about what we're going to show you right now. Then we're going to get into another segment that's going to show you a little bit more about the payouts that we have, and then kind of how we end the casino party once it's all done.